Hello, welcome to Kaiju Curry House, your British bi-weekly podcast featuring all the fantastic kaiju goodness that you can handle. We are episode 90 tonight, and we are celebrating the return of Alex.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you for keeping the seat warm for me. It's a very comfortable seat indeed. And it's so good to be back. I have missed the two of you, and I have missed our dear listeners.
That's awesome.
Joe, what have Kaiju been up to?
Oh, right off the bat. There we go.
Yeah.
So Joe has been up to a little bit. A partner and I, we watched the new Dune movie on Monday, which at the time of this recording would have been Valentine's Day. So we had an awesome time. So it was great. I feel that it really followed the book. I'm a fan of Frank Herbert's Dune, and it doesn't cover the whole book. It's more like the first 4 or 5 chapters, I'd say. But well, I wouldn't call it even the first 4 or 5 chapters. It's been a while since I read it, but I am a fan of the book. Anywho, it's awesome. Totally give it a check out. The giant worms are giant and awesome. They are 400 meters long, so that's pretty rowdy. They make some graboids look quite small. In terms of other stuff, I also watched The Legend of Vox Machina, which is an Amazon Prime. I wouldn't call it an original, but Amazon Prime is airing it. It's interesting on 2 counts. First count is it has large, dangerous, scaly things, which we all love. And the second point is the cartoon actually stems from a Kickstarter that a D&D group put together. And it is one of the largest, most successful Kickstarter campaigns that has ever happened. And at this time, it has 12 episodes, and it is not for kids. Think of it as Rick and Morty meets Castlevania in a D&D setting, and you've got nailed to a peg. But enjoyed that, had some laughs with it. I will say, though, you have to keep going through episode 3. The first 2 episodes set up who the characters are. Third episode is when the plot starts. But in essence, that's what Joe's been up to, watching a lot of telly. So I will circle around to Paul. Paul, what have Kaiju been up to?
Do you know what, Joe? I have finally started to read the Alien picture book that you so kindly gifted me.
Oh,
yeah. So I've read all of the Alien section. So I've read all the info about the first film.
Any standout facts you got for us?
Joe, there's one that I wouldn't really want to say on the podcast just because of how sexual Giga's designs were.
Giger's designs were very sexual. I've seen the Necronomicon. I know exactly what that head is supposed to look like.
Yeah. What the egg was meant to look like originally before they changed it. Oh, it's very interesting.
It's not even suggestive. I mean,
no, it's not at all. It's just like, wow, that's what you were going for.
Yeah.
So I feel like James Cameron saved us a lot of grief changing that design up a bit.
Yeah, but it's an interesting read of what I've seen so far. And I mean, it's not just the Alien. You see everything, like the space, all the different spaceships they had, and all the different costumes they would potentially have. Even the signs for like laser or chemical. They went into so much detail in planning this. And so what was quite interesting is that they got a lot of scrap metal from used airplanes to build the set, because apparently that was so cheap to buy that they would just literally buy tons and tons of it and just try and hammer it together into making a set. That was
it's interesting. I love how organic the first ship looks. Like it looks, like alive, very much alive. Like all the bones down the alleyways. I think it's stunning.
Oh, the space jockey ship.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous.
It's terrifying.
I was going to say the Nostromo just looks like space freight.
Yeah, but it's very well done space freight, isn't it? That's some point. The mother's room, where it's all those twinkling lights, and they were saying, if we did that nowadays, we would just CGI it. But we actually had to have someone go around with Black & Decker drill, make lots of holes, and put in fairy lights, like fairy Christmas lights, because that's just what they had. It's amazing how good it looks.
And part of the magic of it.
Yeah.
It's the imagination that sells it. I mean, it's your imagination that's filling in the gaps behind that facade of all of like the computers and the gadgetry. So it's great.
It's good. It's such a good film, isn't it? And
I know that you can go down a rabbit hole with that, but I do think that like the mystery of the first Alien film and the space jockey ship. I think that they've tried to kind of capture that time and time again with future films, and they've never quite got it. And like the more kind of lore they add to it, there's that word that I've missed hearing from you, Paul. Yeah, like the more they kind of add to explain things, I feel like the less is achieved, because almost the joy of the first film is like there's so many questions left unanswered.
That's it.
I don't necessarily need them answering.
Yeah, we don't need an answer. But they had like a bit from Ridley saying, "Oh, this is a great franchise we've got here. I can't wait to delve deeper into the hows and whys of the alien." Like, no, we don't need to know that.
The only one of those films that succeeded the original was the second one, and the only reason that film worked is because it went in a completely different direction.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah,
it didn't try to explain any mystery. No. The people were still clueless about what was happening. They just knew that they were in danger.
Yeah,
there we go.
No, love aliens. And I also watched Terror from Beyond.
Which how is that?
Has that been released?
Well, he watched it.
I watched it, yeah. So I'm assuming it has. I hope it has. But yeah,
how was it?
It was so. What Rashad's done is he's gone for the 1950s classic sci-fi, and he has absolutely nailed it. Good. For everything, like the stop motion, the suitomation, the miniatures, the music, like the black and white filter, everything. It looks like it is of that time. So
that's awesome. We're gonna have to get him back on.
Yeah, absolutely. But it'll be great to hear how that process went for him. But he absolutely nailed what he set out to do. So that's cool.
Great.
Alex, what have Kaiju been up to for the last 9 months?
That somehow doesn't quite roll off the tongue really easily, does it? Do you know what? Like what I've been thinking of doing as I've kind of prepared for returning back, I've tried to kind of narrow it down to some key things that have brought me joy. So after I took an extended break from the podcast, I did the following things. Like I'll give you a bit of life story. I moved house, which was not kaiju related, but incredibly busy. And then shortly after, I got really ill with Rona, which was not so fantastic, and it kicked my ass. I lost over a month to that, which was quite unfortunate. And then before you know it, it's the holiday period. I was away with family, and then you think, oh, like, how has it, just you said earlier, it's been 9 months. Like, well, how has the time flown by? But I have been doing so much kaiju stuff. So I'd like to start off by doing what I wanted to do ages ago, which is to thank Joe and yourself, Paul, because I finally received El Blanco. And Joe, can you tell us a little bit about El Blanco as I kind of hold it up? Because this was gifted to me. There it is.
Yeah, I made a kit, and our good friend Connor from Invader Design sculpted that and printed it off, and I assembled it and painted it. And for those of you who can see this on YouTube, I did do more than just color it 2 colors. The problem with doing a creature with no pigment is all you can really do is just highlight and dry brush. So I did my best for it. There is a significant amount of detailing work that went into El Blanco. It's just not coming up, unfortunately.
I love it. I mean, you're being a bit too self-critical, which I've got no time for. It's wonderful. I was so delighted when I received that.
Thank you.
Also, I'm going to reach up and try not to make too much noise. Just give me 1 second.
Showing a bit of skin there, Alex.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Everybody tune into YouTube.
Give the viewers what they want.
Skin.
Yeah. There we go. Yep. Let's have a look at this bad boy. Look.
So is that an X plus Rodan?
That is an 30 centimeter X plus Rodan. And those of you who listen, and Joe and Paul know this, I am a huge fan of the 1970s era of the shower films. And I have been gradually working my way through from 1971 Hedorah all the way to Joe and my favorite film, Terror of Mechagodzilla, which is 1975. So you've got 5 films of varying quality, might I add, and I want to basically have the entire lineup in 30 centimeter, and I'm working through it. Now, I was just on the X Plus Facebook account the other day, and I saw in the group that there was a big X Plus reveal, and I got so excited because I saw Gigan, and I think I even commented to the two of you, you know, I can see it, it's there. And actually, no, it's not. It's a 25 centimeter scale.
Oh.
Now, I know that might sound a bit silly, but to have all of my figures in 30 centimeter scale, then to have one a completely different scale, it just feels a bit silly.
Gigan was always shorter. You'd have to see it next to a 30 centimeter to see. No, he is. Gigan.
I know. It just doesn't.
Is, I should say.
No. On another note, a little bit different, I've started drawing, and I'm possibly taking a bit of a risk here. I've got some art that I've been doing because, like, I want to stress, I'm not an artist, okay? I've got a lot of artists in the family that love doing painting, drawing, but I've hopefully the two of you can relate to this. When you're around people who are super, super talented at something, it almost puts you off doing it yourself because you think, oh, well, it'll look really, really bad if I do it. But then I kind of thought, you know what? Why not just draw for the fun of it? And I kind of did various sketches of different things, and I couldn't really get into it. I thought, well, why am I drawing monsters? And I don't necessarily have kind of the creativity to draw my own monsters, but I had a go drawing this beloved monster, which Joe hates. This is the little Deferreal Hedera. So see what you think. Just here it is.
Oh, that's a fabulous blurred out picture.
You know what?
Still blurred.
I haven't thought of that. Yeah.
The filter. Unfortunately, for those of you tuning in on YouTube, Alex has blurred out the background because I still think there's a bit of a moving and a blending process going on.
Yeah.
But it is not recognizing Hedera's face as a human face, unfortunately. So we are.
Yeah.
It looks good when it goes out of blur.
Yes.
Anyway, it's work in progress. So yeah, I've started drawing. And
so are you going for black and white, or are you going to color it?
Going for black and white.
Going for black and white.
Going for black and white. And
coloring is the devil's work.
It really
you
is.
You can't color something you love.
On the Hedera train, because do you remember when there was loads of Hedera gear that came out? There were like loads of figures.
Lot.
I pre-ordered
the
exactly. I pre-ordered the CCP Chimney Smoker Hedera, and he's on the chimney, and it's like neon pink, purple, psychedelic colors, like metallic green, and it is the wackiest, ugliest, most beautiful $164 I've ever spent. And yeah, I've gone for it. But yeah, I'm excited about that. So yeah, actually, I have kind of kept the kaiju thing going in the last couple of months, so it's nice because I don't feel out of touch with it. But what I've been lacking is watching stuff. So I'm hoping tonight that you can put some recommendations in for me.
Definitely.
Can try.
What's this about boxes?
Oh, we will get to boxes. Paul and I are about to have a box off. However, we have a new segment since you've come back, Alex.
Oh,
it's called Kaiju Letters.
Okay.
We're still looking for a better title for that, by the way, or any suggestions that fans or yourself have. But Paul, you said you had a few, and I have one.
Okay. Yeah. So Alex, your mission is to think of a better name. the only
Kaiju Letters.
Yeah, I the only thing I could think of was like Monster Mail, just because it kind of rhymes with the M and the M, but still not. Need to think a bit better.
We're desperate people. Please let us know.
So people write in.
Anyhow, yes, but some people write in. So let's see. So the first comment here is from Tom Tyler. This is back in the Relic episode we did, Joe.
Oh, there we go.
Where you love the book, I love the film. We'll leave it at that.
One of us is wrong. Yeah.
So you say, great episode as always, guys, which is always nice to hear.
Wow.
Yay!
And he's got a question for Kaiju Question Time, he's called it.
Oh.
Mm.
So basically talking over the topic of Godzilla's appearances over the years, from when he was first released through to present day. What is your favourite Godzilla appearance from when he was first released? Personally, I'm going to go and rely on trusty CGI and say that the 2019 King of the Monsters version is the best, because he looks intimidating, very much dragon/monster-like, with the scary spinal details, with his Stegosaurus-like variety pointy bits. And to be King of the Monsters, I'd say he looks the part. Hope you're well and look forward to the next episode.
Very polite.
Thank you, Tom. So he's going CGI 2019. Oh, I like that he points out the Stegosaurus-like pointy bits, because that was referenced in like the first Godzilla, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
the dorsal fins.
Yeah.
The plates.
That's
plates
it.
is the term. But
thank you,
what was
plates.
It was 1962, Godzilla vs. Kong, the American edit, where they have the scientists come on and say,
yeah, they're looking at the book, aren't they?
The plated lizard.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So,
great.
so Joe, what's your favorite Godzilla?
Hands down, 1984.
Okay, yeah, you do have a lot of love for that, don't you?
I do, because I think he might only be nudged out by the 2001 GMK Godzilla, but that Godzilla is the most intimidating, the most out to get you of any design or any characterization I've thus seen. You really do get a sense that like he is not a happy, like nature loving, appeasable creature. He is there to get you. So I really like him, and I like all of the dark like Godzillas. I like 1954. I like 84. I like 2001. And I like the MonsterVerse Godzilla, but I like the MonsterVerse Godzilla because they put a lot of anatomical things in there, like the gills, that I appreciate. Just things that answered like fan questions. So I do enjoy that one. But if Godzilla is like dark, Joe's generally gonna like it. What about you, Paul?
See, I was a bit torn because I think there's the nostalgia for the 60s, 70s one, but when I first saw Invasion of the Astro Monsters. But looking back now, that's so goofy. So I think I would go with the 90s, like early 90s, Godzilla versus Mothra, or Godzilla versus Bylante, later 80s. That kind of, he just looks really menacing. He's really buffed up. That's the one.
He's lean in that, isn't he?
He's
quite jacked.
He is very jacked. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's perhaps not scary, but he is like a force.
Yeah.
So that's the one I've got the X plus of. That's the one I was like, I want to get that one because I just think he looks really cool there. Alex, what about yourself?
I think that I've got two answers, because there's the Godzilla that I love the most, and that would be probably that moment in Terror of Mechagodzilla. I think Joe's mentioned it before, when the lightning crashes down. I think Titanosaurus and Mechagodzilla are fighting. The lightning crashes down. It's dark across the city, and then you just see Godzilla's kind of face light up, and he does that sort of look and then charges in.
You see the silhouette against the black, and you see him rise over the buildings.
Yeah.
That would have been like my second pick.
And I think that gave me like goosebumps as a kid. I just thought, what an entrance! I thought that was the single best. It is his best entrance,
yeah.
But in terms of when I think Godzilla has looked his best, in terms of how impressive he is, I think that shot in Shin Godzilla, when you finally see kind of the fourth or final form, whatever it is, and by that point, Shin Godzilla is utterly massive, and the tail's kind of swaying. And, I think that it took me a while to come round to Shin Godzilla, because it looked so ugly, because it is just a giant slab of meat and like the rows of teeth. But I just think it looks utterly hideous. And as soon as I saw Shin Godzilla, I thought, I want a figure of that. So whenever I kind of sit down at my desk, I often look at Shin Godzilla. Like even now I'm looking up, and it looks fantastic. So yeah, I feel like I'm stuck between the brilliance of Godzilla and Terror of Mechagodzilla, and then the impressiveness, the awe-inspiringness of Shin. Those would be my two answers.
Okay. Well, there you go, Tom. Hope that covers that. Joe, do you want to go, or do you want me to read my follow-up the next one?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I've had someone write in about folklore,
Ooh.
Which is good, because we had another person wrote in about their favorite folklore, and I said, if anyone else has some, let us know. So someone's written in to say about their local folklore, and they're from Iran. So it's
cool.
Yeah, so it's Samira. I'll just say it's Samira. And she has said that there's two favourite folklores in Persian mythology. Manticore, who I think is reasonably well known, but has different different permutations. So the one in Persian myth is where it's got the body of a lion, head of a man, tail of a scorpion, and bat wings.
I didn't know the bat wings, but I know the tail of the scorpion.
I always thought it was the tail of a snake, but maybe that's a Greek one.
I've always seen scorpion.
Scorpion, is it? Okay. And I thought it always had a head of a lion, but it's head of a man as well. So
as a man's face.
A man's face.
A lot of art depicts it with the mane of a lion and a man's face.
Okay, maybe that's where I've got confused. But the other one is more. It's not kaiju. It is extremely terrifying. It's something you would probably like, Alex, actually, because I can't actually. What's the thing that you like?
Yokalicious.
Yokai, yes, that's the one. I'll say this sounds more yokai.
Anything yokalicious.
So it's called Al. I believe that's how it's pronounced.
Just A-L.
Just A-L, yeah. And the myth basically goes that when a woman's in labour or has just given birth, that she's not allowed to be alone for up to 10 days.
Okay.
She must keep the lights on. And if there's any pools nearby, you've got to cover them up.
Okay.
You need to put.
What if you live by an ocean?
Then you're stuffed.
Yeah.
Damn.
You need to put iron around the bed and a pin in her dress. If not, Al, the invisible creature, finds its way through the shadows, walks on the trees with its long legs to get to the woman's house. It takes out the woman's liver and runs away.
Love it.
If Al can wash the liver inside water, the woman dies. But if you catch it, then you can save the woman.
This has gotten very dark.
It has got very dark.
Yeah.
I loved. I mean, it's terrifying.
Who comes up with this?
I don't know, but it's like an
old psycho.
I mean, it gets a bit worse, but I can leave that bit out. Probably best if I do.
It gets worse. Jeez.
I mean, I can read the rest if you want, but
go on. We owe it to the listeners.
When
this is education and culture.
It is.
Okay. When the baby is born, you must bury the placenta with a piece of iron, because owls are scared of this metal. If it could find the placenta and eat it, the newborn baby would die. And so that's just horrific. Its name means red because the creature has red skin and it has long legs to help it run away very fast. They're thinking.
How do we know if it's invisible?
I don't know. This is what the folklore is.
There's plot holes going on.
There is plot holes. I mean, it's called the invisible creature. I think I did see that.
It's like the Predator.
Because I googled it. That only the woman can see it, or something they said. So it's like, it's very strange. But they're saying that they actually think that the reason this myth came about was like postnatal depression and like cot death or the death of a mother, and they couldn't explain it. And so in ancient times, they would blame it on this creature, this unseen creature, which makes sense.
That's brilliant.
But it is dark and terrifying. Well, and I really appreciate her sharing it because it's just like, wow, that's.
I'm fairly certain there was a Scientologist couple, like a celebrity Scientologist couple, who they ate the placenta after they'd had a baby. They'd like cooked it up and done some kind of ceremony, and it's very odd. But there was no reference to liver. It's time for our first break.
Oh my gosh.
Is it really?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
We'll come back with our final question after the break.
Welcome back to the second part of this episode, which is number 90. We are Kaiju Curry House. I'm joined today by my good friends Paul and Joe. Something about boxes. Oh no, we've got a third and final Kaiju letter.
Third and final question.
Monster Mail Kaiju letter.
There we go. Like I said, folks, we needed a definitive name here. When you say the definitive name, we will know it when we hear it.
We will.
Anyways, this third and final question comes from Charlie, who is 10. So Charlie asked, who would win in a fight, which is very topical, for a 10-year-old kaiju fan.
Yeah. And
he said, the Kraken or this, and this is from Pirates of the Caribbean. This is where he's getting this, or the Megalodon from Meg.
So the Kraken from Pirates of the Caribbean, not the Clash of the Titans.
Yes.
Kraken.
He is a massive fan of the Pirates of the Caribbean Kraken.
Okay. Pirates of the Caribbean Kraken or the Meg.
How big was the Meg? It's pretty big.
chunky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Meg in the book series took out a submarine, like a military submarine. So that's an impressive feat. And I would say that it would definitely have the speed factor. However, well, you see, the thing is the Kraken looks enormous in Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's against like
the Kraken.
I'm trying to remember it. I'm thinking because was it that big?
It takes out the Black Pearl, and it's about the size of the Black Pearl, maybe a little bit bigger. But the thing is, when you think about it, as massive as that looked in the film, that's not nearly as big as a current military submarine, is it?
No, it's in comparison to that. It's
cephalopods, like like squiddy things, are reasonably intelligent. So, like,
Pirates of the Caribbean 2.
Oh, Alex,
I don't know which one it was in.
I'm looking it up because I've not seen that film, so
I think it's like Dead Man's Chest or something like that. It's the one with Davy Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, I would go with Meg as like my reflex response.
Yeah.
But I don't know how good octopuses are in fights. I'm assuming they're actually pretty good.
Reasonably good, I'd assume, yeah.
I would have thought.
I mean, the thing is like, if it got hold of the Meg in the right way, it could, in theory, suffocate it because it could just hold on to
that's
its
where
gills.
I was going.
It would be a case of who got who where first, I think. It's a pretty even fight in my mind.
I just love that we've had a who would win question. Because
we have had who would win questions. We get lots of who would win questions.
Great. No,
but we are picking selectively the who would win questions.
So, no tell of a lie, I had a 7th grader today at school come over to me and said, "Sir, who would win, San Marino or Vatican City?" And I just kind of was a bit stunned and just thought, it's such an abstract question. But I was impressed that he asked. So,
I've got a better question, for this. So I feel like on Charlie's question, we would say it would be pretty close to a tie. Whoever got hold of who first, that's probably who's going to win. But I'm going to raise it. So the Meg versus Moby Dick.
The Meg.
Who would win? Megalon or the Megalodon?
There's probably a sci-fi film about that.
See, I would be inclined to give it to Moby Dick. Not many people know this, but sperm whales can focus a sound so precisely that it creates a pulse that can actually paralyze giant squid.
Okay, I did not know that.
Only you would know that. And
that's true.
It is a truly incredible feat in the animal kingdom. That, and they are very intelligent, having the largest brain in the animal kingdom, larger than that of the blue whale.
Okay.
See, this is the thing.
Well, that's great.
This is why I've been gone so long. I make inane comments and you bring marine biology. You far more highbrow.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, Alex, I'm down here with I watch Sharktopus versus Megalodon.
Sharktopus is amazing.
So I'm I'm down there.
We are twins after all.
There is a gentleman out there. His name is John, and his last name is Irish, and he was friends with Joe in college. And I have always told him he should watch Sharktopus, and he has always persisted. That looks rubbish, and I think it just looks like a great time. I still haven't seen it. Maybe this is what I need to do.
It's such fun.
Okay, so should we get to this box off?
Yeah.
Please, yeah.
We need to set this up. So for the listeners, you might want to go onto YouTube. We're going to do our best to describe this to you. But a while back, Paul said he found a box. It's been left untouched. A time capsule from an earlier era. It is full of Jurassic Park figures. And then there's another box apparently that's made an appearance tonight.
Yeah, I just went in the loft and I was like, oh,
Paul has upped the ante and brought in another box.
Overhyping it.
The Challenger Joe has brought in a green plastic tub, which is also a time capsule, things kept from his childhood. And I know that there's some Jurassic Park figures in there. So we're gonna open these babies up and see what's been going on.
And do I rate which box is better?
I think that would be cruel. Because we don't.
I think we should just have a look and go like, oh wow, I remember that, or I don't remember this at all. How did that get?
But if you feel inclined at the end of it, if Joe wins, you can say.
You can say Joe. I mean, Joe's going to win. Joe's going to have like a Kenner T-Rex or something in there, and I'll be like, oh,
the Kenner T-Rex isn't in the box; it's sitting over there.
Can I channel Brad Pitt from Seven?
Yes.
Can I just shout, "What's in the box"?
Go on then.
Yeah.
All right, so let's lift off the tops.
Oh, I'm just dreading that there's spiders in here.
Joe's already winning. Yeah.
Yeah, I have
no. We need some music as this happens, don't we?
We do, don't we? Oh my god. That's not Jurassic Park. What the? No. There's some
Paul
strange.
found a box full of different kinds of toys.
Wait, what? I've got a duck.
You have got a duck. Why?
Technically a dinosaur.
Yeah.
What I've got is a box of fuzzy felts. So you would
felts dinosaurs.
I don't know if you remember fuzzy felts, but it was like they're like
this
felt.
Is definitely a British thing.
It's made of felt, and you would just stick it on different backgrounds.
Really?
Yeah. What?
So you would
what year was that?
So you would have a background, and you would stick.
Oh yes.
So you would stick a dinosaur onto it and a volcano, and you would just make your own pictures and things.
I think I had those back in the day. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
back in the day. Yeah. I mean, this is probably, I don't know. I'll see if it's got a date on it somewhere. But
okay, so I'm scoring points as we're going along.
That's got some major nostalgia there.
That is massive.
I got a point there. That was good.
Oh man,
Joe, what have you got? There's not even a date on it.
Okay, so I'm just first thing on the top. So what we have here is a pillowcase from the 1998 Godzilla film.
Wow, Joe.
And it's got a different picture on the back. And it actually, on the inside, I wrapped it up. My first X Plus figure, which is a teal green, teal metallic green, Godzilla versus Mothra Godzilla.
Whoa.
You just kept that in the box? I thought you'd have that on display.
What?
Yeah.
Get it on display.
That's so much other crap. That's crap. I have so much other stuff. You know how hard it is to dust all this stuff? All right, Paul, are you going next?
That point was for the X Plus figure. That was good.
Oh, so you are awarding points then.
The pillowcase was fine. It was all right. Yeah.
Okay. That wasn't even in the film. What's that called, Joe?
Dimetrodon, isn't it?
Dimetrodon, is it?
Kenner Dimetrodon Series 1. Oh, that's amazing.
Look at that.
Wow, look at that.
That's some good gear.
That's a great figure.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're well done.
All right.
You should give that to your kids. I mean, like, I
would ruin it.
Yeah. So
when they're older.
Well done,
thing
Paul.
Near the
that
top,
was a point.
Thank you.
I have the Wave 2 Jurassic Park or Kenner Jurassic Park Demon Carnotaurus with the dino damage, and I do have the piece. But yeah, this is an iconic. It's an amazing figure, and he's seen a little bit of wear and tear because I loved him so much. This is the figure that made me love Carnotaurus as a child, and I think he's awesome. And then supposedly when you pinch the neck, he goes, rah, rah, which is the gimmick that they tried to instill on it. But no, it's great. It's got a great texture and great feel. Yeah. He originally had capture gear, but that has been lost to the annals of time. Yeah, love that figure.
It's another point to Joe.
There we go.
You're neck and neck.
Oh,
they never had a rocket launcher on a Jurassic Park vehicle, from what I remember.
That is the Kenner Jurassic Park Jeep with capture gear.
Oh, you got the sticker on it as well.
Yeah.
It is the red and gray Jeep from Jurassic Park. It is glorious.
So was this I don't even remember this being in the film. Was it in the film?
It was in the original film. It's the Jeep that picks them up. However, for kids, they had to add a bit to it.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, because kids like things that fire.
The Ford Explorers that went around the park, just the tour buses, that ended up having a rocket launcher in the kids' line of toys. So I totally understand the rocket launcher there.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, looks cool.
Cool. My turn.
Go for it.
Right. I have the Kenner Lycanops.
That? Looks like a saber-toothed tiger.
Well, it's a gorgonopsid. That's what species of creature it is. It's not actually a dinosaur. It is like a proto-mammal from the Permian age. And I really liked this one just because it's got like a really cool design. Gorgonopsids are great. He's a bit shrink wrapped now for today's standards of scientific accuracy. But one of the reasons I love it so much is it has a thylacine kind of paint scheme. He has the stripes going down the rear end.
What's the marking on the thigh?
Oh, it's the JP logo, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the JP logo. That's how you knew it was an official Jurassic Park. And then for collectors, it had a number showing which one it was. But yeah.
Cool.
Well, they were numbered as well, were they?
Yeah, they were.
Oh, okay. Well, this is probably the thing that I remember most, which is the proper vehicle,
way.
Which is the green screen does not like. It's trying to make it into our logo.
Yeah, it is. That's awesome.
But yeah, look at that. It's got a damage. The front comes off because it can be ripped apart by the T-Rex.
Every kid would have wanted that.
Yes, I'm one of those kids.
They just reissued it. Mattel just made a new. Oh, you
up.
have the rocket launcher at the end.
Rocket launcher
on your mantelpiece, Paul.
Even still got the instruction manual, Joe.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible, Paul.
I mean, Paul, take down the family photos from your mantelpiece. Just put that up there instead.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Right. Sorry, Paul's winning at the moment.
Oh dear.
Sorry, Joe.
On the strength of that Jeep.
It's just that Jeep.
Yeah. Right. Well, I can see him with his tail, so I'll pull him out. Oh. I have the Kenner young T-Rex.
Nice. Yes.
Again,
squeeze of the neck. Yeah.
And, they had the movable. So they have the dino damage pieces, which was there. The thing is, a great parent glued those in because Joe was always losing them. And a bit sad that happened, but at the same time, it would have annoyed me to pieces if they always looked like they were hurt. So I'm glad that they did it in the end. But the Kenner young T-Rex is an amazing sculpt. The Wave 2 actually had an amazing paint scheme. Nice. It was blue with a yellow underbelly and some darker black stripes towards the top, but it was kind of like a navy blue. So like there were two paint schemes and they were amazing. They later on re-released this figure, but none of the paint schemes were just as good. But they have a great like real feel, like rubbery texture. And then what's awesome too is like the underside of the tail and everything has these amazing scales that someone sculpted.
That's smart.
The top also has amazing scale detail. Just the sculpt is so incredible. And none of the figures that have since come out, like these are why these Kenner figures are so valued now. It's because they had amazing sculpts. They had great texture. You could wiggle them around and do whatever.
Wow. Oh, wow. That really is bendy.
Yeah, no. I mean, like
contort it.
Yeah, it just pops right back.
But is it hollow? It looks like...
Well, yeah, it's hollow. It's got like cotton in it, but it's waterproof, the whole shebang. But
I'd be scared over time about kind of eroding the rubber.
Well, like the thing is the rubber's really robust. The only thing that's really hard are the teeth and the arms, and then like the bottoms of these legs. But the thing is too, is it will also stand on its own right. So all these figures that Kenner did were truly incredible. If you go into the Jurassic Park community, like they'll tell you, like nothing has ever approached the quality of the Kenner figures.
Wow.
Yeah. Like Paul's Jeep and everything, like those are all Kenner. Brilliant toy company. Yeah.
More. What's in the box?
Who's this? Is that Dennis?
That's Dennis Nedry. Yeah, they made him quite.
About to say buff. He looks buff. He's not chunky and he's got a gun. That is nothing like the film.
Who's that meant to be? What?
Nedry, the coder, the hacker, the guy who steals the embryos. It looks nothing like him.
What, the guy who gets eaten by the
Dilophosaurus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him,
yeah. You wouldn't think it, would you?
I should have gone to Planet Fitness for a couple of months.
I think he must have done.
Yeah.
But then what about it's Muldoon, isn't it?
Oh, you have Muldoon? That's
Is he the clever girl?
Yeah,
guy?
Yeah, girl. He's that guy. In the book, he totally lives.
These characters look nothing like.
No, the Muldoon doesn't look that bad. The Muldoon looks pretty good. I mean,
Tim looks... I would say Tim looks all right.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a kid, doesn't he? And then we also have Alan Grant and Dr.
Sattler. Yeah. Alan's been hitting the bench lately, I can tell.
They've all been working out. But I don't have Lex. It's strange. I seem to have all the characters, but I assume they would have done a toy of her, but I don't have her.
You'd hope. I don't know off the top of my head.
No, neither do I, but I've got all of these.
Your figure's completely yoked, Joe?
I thought I just had Tim.
Right, so I'm going to pull out a couple of figures at the same time since Paul felt so inclined to do this. If Matt Frank...
It would be here forever otherwise.
Yeah, if Matt Frank is listening, I have some Primal Rage figures here. I have the whole collection, because they're just not at the top. There's Vertigo. There's Blizzard.
Nice.
There's Chaos.
So that's the same one, but with a different color.
Yeah, bring back Chaos. Bring Chaos back into the shop there, because I think we need to appreciate it for a second. Look at that hair.
It's like a troll.
Well, see, the thing is I do appreciate what they did with these figures. So Chaos and Blizzard are pretty much like the same sculpt. However, Blizzard's arms go up and down.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But Chaos in the video game vomits, so he had like a squirt gun feature if you can hear the air coming out of him. So they didn't just cop out and make two figures of a different paint scheme. They actually did something pretty wonderful with that. And then I have my favorite, Sauron, with a mouth that opens up.
Oh, okay, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, Sauron was always the coolest. But yeah, I do have all of them in this box. I know that. I was quite proud of that. But yeah, there we go. Some Primal Rage figs for you. What else have we got going on?
Those figures came out 1996, apparently. They're Atari.
Yeah.
Yeah, Atari Playmates, 1996. And you can get them fully boxed, and they are worth over $100.
Okay.
Yep.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. I just love the troll hairdos and the little thumping arms.
Yeah.
That's made it for me.
I mean, I've got lots of little accessories and, I guess, baby dinosaurs, but I mean, I swear that I've got a rocket launcher. Where did they make this stuff up?
The Kenner Labs.
Scientists.
This is true.
Scientists.
Pesky scientists.
Well, I've got a good one. I think I've got one that could.
Go for it, Joe. You can go for it if you like.
I mean, the Jeep was good, but the Primal Rage troll hairdos is...
Oh, I'm going even farther back in
the
time.
Scales.
So how obscure is this? Do either of you remember the Kevin Sorbo Hercules show?
No.
Elaborate.
So there was a Hercules show, and there was Xena Warrior Princess.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
From the same universe. Yeah.
Yes. So in the Kevin Sorbo show, there was a Hydra.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Very cool.
I have the Kevin Sorbo Hydra with the moving heads.
Nice. Okay.
And it has a bendable tail.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I thought that was quite lovely.
Not bad. Yeah.
1995. That's what it says on the bottom there.
Weren't the 90s amazing?
They were, weren't they?
The 90s were amazing.
Like for toys, for merchandise, for TV shows.
Indeed.
Yeah, the 90s were amazing.
Ooh, what do I have in here?
I seem to have a little the Dilophosaurus.
Yeah.
Oh, you have the squirt gun one. That's a great one.
Oh, yeah, it's got a hole. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can squeeze it.
That's a great figure.
I've also got the one that, not that it's working, but would screech. I think you'd have to squeeze his
Oh,
legs.
yeah, it screeches,
and it would scream.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
I mean, for how little that dinosaur is in the film, it really stuck out in people's minds, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, it made an impression for sure.
The Velociraptor that would scream.
Yeah, very charismatic.
So it's meant to scream, but it's not screaming. And like that one there, which
good.
So they got lots of movement from the Velociraptors and even a little flying.
But Joe's figure did that.
Hey, he's flying. Look.
Joe, can you get the Primal Rage figure back in shot again to do that? That was a... Go on.
This is like a King Kong versus like the Pteranodon right here.
Oh, I feel left out.
Now we're getting a little closer to home. We have a...
That's my Baragon. I'm just going to hold that.
We have a Trendmaster Space Godzilla.
Nice.
That looks nothing like Space Godzilla.
What do you mean? It's got the crystals on his shoulders. What more do you want?
We've got the Mecha Godzilla.
Oh wow!
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah,
that looked good.
And then
yeah.
We where is it? Oh yeah, and then we have the Godzilla, which got shafted a bit in the figure design. Honestly, he's a bit short and stout, isn't he? He's robust. That's what we should say. Robust. What else have we got here? I'll drag out of this cave of wonders.
I'm gonna have to stop you there, boys, for our second break in a second.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Good idea. Yeah.
Okay. As we take our second break, Joe's gonna hold up his Primal Rage figure again.
You really like this Blizzard, don't you?
I do. I'm gonna get one of eBay.
Hello.
There we go.
Hello and welcome back to part 3 of Kaiju Curry House, episode 90. Alex has made his return. Me and Joe have been showing off some amazing childhood toys. In fact, Joe's actually still got some amazing things to show us. So, Joe, what's in the box?
So I rooted through it a bit because there's some other things here, but I'm not going to keep you all waiting. Trendmasters, Rodan, the big one.
Is that?
That's not Rodan.
Yeah,
that's like Anguirus. He looks so chunky and...
Call that a Rodan?
I mean, he's not...
It doesn't even have a beak.
Different.
He's got teeth.
Yeah, this is
and horns.
Rodan
like,
always has teeth.
Not on the X Plus, he doesn't.
Do you have a Rodan that you can hold up? Paul, do you have a Rodan that you can hold up?
No, I don't. Sorry.
He's not a part of the Rodan club.
I'm not, no.
So I also have I have his chest piece in this tub, but I can't be, I can't bring myself to go and root through it more. But I have the Green Ranger.
Hey.
Yeah.
Dragon Zord.
One. Oh yeah, Dragon Zord's sitting up right there. For
yes, I can see him. There's our boy.
I got that out for the episode where we interviewed our good friend who's doing all of the comic book stuff for Godzilla vs. the Power Rangers. I have my baby Kenner Demon Carnotaurus.
Oh, look at him.
I know, he's awesome. I have my Armagon from Primal Rage. That bad boy.
Yeah.
And he still has
he's a very spiky. So what type of dinosaur is he, Joe?
He is a abomination. He is a bunch of different things. Honestly.
Because he looks almost like a Triceratops head-ish.
Well, he was like he was Tyrannosaurus Rex, Torosaurus,
Styra,
Ankylosaurus, variety of things.
Wow, so he was cooked up in InGen's lab, right? It's just
quite so. I have a scientifically accurate Dimetrodon.
Oh, a scientifically accurate one. Okay.
More like it.
Yeah, because mine was just like green.
That is the 2001 Carnegie Dimetrodon.
I was going to say the Safari Carnegie, wonderful. They're the ones that I collect.
Yeah, they're really lovely. I have some.
I'm
really
going to dig out my
ones.
box of those. Got so
and
many Carnegie.
then, to end it all, I will leave you with this piece of glory.
A Godzilla bobblehead?
Yes.
Godzilla bobblehead.
Joe.
Fallout,
that's just wonderful.
Out. Look at that.
There we go. And he used to sit on the dash of my car. Nice. There we go. That is the box off done.
Oh, wow.
Paul, anything else? Because you're in trouble here, mate.
We went.
I said I found another box, but it's not really kaiju. Also, we had Grimlock from Transformers, obviously, who's dinosaur.
So what you mean to say is you let us down?
And then some Mighty Max, if you ever remember Mighty Max.
Oh, Mighty Max was amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, so it was like a play set that would open up. So there would be,
That's a wicked Mighty Max set right there.
I feel like.
So this is like what's the lava creature.
Mighty Max was like Polly Pocket if it was injected with testosterone.
Well, it wasn't it?
Did either of you watch the television show?
Yes.
Did you watch the finale?
I'm going to say I did, but I can't remember it.
Pieces of episodes, yeah.
So if you watch the whole show, it's amazing. It is a great nostalgia, and it has lots of large, dangerous, scaly things. But the finale will always stick with me. It's so good. The bad guys win.
Oh, okay.
But you know how his hat could open a portal?
Yeah.
So they open
Spoilers.
They open a portal to the past, and what happens in the original episode happens again. It just starts them off again in a new loop.
Ooh.
But they know all the mistakes that they made from the last time, so you know that they'll win. But it doesn't show them win. It was really cool.
It's deep.
No, the writers of that show were really good
for a kid show.
And I really liked Norman. Like Norman was just like, Max is like, you were Thor? Yeah.
I think what I loved about the Mighty Max toys was that, like, for how simple they were, they just they were a little face, you open them up, but then there was so much opportunity to play with what was inside.
That's it.
It really sparked off the imagination of young kids. Yeah.
So,
yes. Joe, I recognize that one.
Oh, and Joe has a Godzilla Mighty Max style toy.
I remember being about 8, and my Christmas present, I think it was called Skull Mountain. And it would be about that tall.
It's like a bust, isn't it, of the villain?
Huge bust.
And it would open up.
I felt like the coolest freaking kid in the world when I had it. Oh, look at that.
So this is like a dragon's head that would open up into a place set. And
I remember that
from
the episode. Yep, that's an actual episode.
Now, a good place to get a lot of these, folks, if you go on eBay, because like there were a lot of Paul, Joes, and Alexes who had these and eventually kind of just pawn them off. And you can pick them up cheap. The tricky part, though, is do they have
bits?
It's the little bits inside. It's the parts.
I have all the little bits.
I'm amazing that I've kept them so well.
If you open them up and you buy them, chances are the parts are missing. You'll have the shell, but not the little parts. That's the tricky thing. But I love Mighty Max toys. My little boy and my girl, they play with Mighty Max.
There we go.
Do they still do that? Is it? Or are they playing with your toys?
No, they're playing with mine, yeah.
Okay.
It's a choking hazard nowadays.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You can't just sell those things now. It's a choking hazard.
I hadn't thought of that. Yes, it is. Yeah, we could have died.
I have a little Dino Riders character.
And yet we didn't. Oh, Dino Riders. Oh, the Tycho T-Rex was so good for Dino Riders. I loved that figure.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, there you have it.
I was going to say, yeah, I think that, do I need to pick which, was there a winner or was it just a case of show what you got?
Whose toys do you want to play with more?
Very personal question.
I guess. Why did you actually go, sir? You are positively vulgar on your podcast.
I know. Okay, here's what I suggest. Your Primal Rage toys in Paul's Jeep. Yeah.
That'd be fun. You know what we should do is we should invite a whole bunch of very learned, very cool people on this podcast, foreshadowing, and have them talk about their favorite toys.
That's a great idea, Joe.
Gosh, that sounds like we should really do that.
You should do that at some point in the future.
That's an idea.
Okay.
That's an idea.
Well, if nothing else, do we still do that? Is that
still do that? Yeah.
You do.
Wow,
I'm glad you've been listening. You know,
yeah, thanks for listening, Alex.
I know.
Jeez.
Yeah. If nothing else, Joe.
If nothing else, you should call me first, sir. That isn't fair. So I didn't have a prepared answer this evening, unfortunately. What I will say is, if you are of the age to watch said media, definitely check out Dune, which has recently come out, which is a fantastic book and a great movie. However, if that It's perhaps not quite the fun, quick adventure that you're looking for. If you like the Rick and Morty-ish Castlevania sort of thing, The Legend of Vox Machina is available on Amazon Prime. If you look into it, you will be able to find other media from the folks that made it. However, I've recently been introduced to it via Amazon Prime, and that's fun. And the first 2 episodes feature a large, dangerous, scaly thing. But like I said earlier, it is episode 3 where the plot starts. So if you think you might enjoy it, if you stick it out through episode 3, it might be your thing. It is quite vulgar, though. Do not listen to it within earshot of children.
Thanks for the warning.
Yeah. Paul, what you got?
But you know what? I really want to go watch Mighty Max now. So
you can see a lot of it on YouTube.
I bet it's on, I was going to say, I bet it's on YouTube. So I tell you what, so I'm going to, if nothing else, go watch Mighty Max. And also, if you're, I guess, of our age where you might have a loft full of toys, please, listeners and viewers, go up into your loft or your parents' loft. Let's see what you've got.
Yeah, let's see what you got.
Please, and share it. Yeah,
send us images. We'll put it up on foreshadowing a toy episode that we might have with really cool people, and we can evaluate how cool your collections are. We won't judge, but we'll just say how cool some of this stuff is. So send us pictures, folks. The good kind of toys, not those kinds of toys. Dinosaur toys, kaiju toys.
Yes.
Wow, I've dug a hole. Anyways, continue. Alex.
Yes. Okay. Stuff to watch. I'd like to give a shout out to Arrow Video, Arrow Films. If you go on their website and check out the Kadokawa releases of the Yokai Monsters trilogy and the Daimajin trilogy, but I mean, they're not particularly cheap, but it's, it's £45 respectively for the 2 trilogy box sets. But there's some wonderful 1960s, kaiju, yokai, Japanese, tokusatsu goodness, that they're wonderful. And yeah, Arrow Video do some fantastic stuff. And kind of connected to the theme of our episode, I'd say just check out eBay, because the amount of these wonderful toys that you can pick up for fairly cheap, and, as the 2 of you have said, dig out your toys. Let's see what you got. Because I'm going to certainly dust down my Mighty Max and my Safari Carnegie stuff. I've got so many dinosaurs that possibly have toddler bite marks in, but yeah, I'll bring them along. Thank you, guys. This has been so much fun.
Anyways, folks, keep it kaiju and stay tuned. We got lots of great surprises for you.